Hey guys, this is Bo. I was thinking I need to complete my John Byrne Superman collection. Now, I did look over what I own, and I have to say I used to own about 7,700 comics. And I know that because I keep a list of everything I used to own in an app called CLZ. And so yeah, that's the stats they gave me. But when I moved, I think I may have lost more than 75% of my comic collection, which is kind of terrible because stuff that I used to have, I don't have anymore. For example, the Man of Steel miniseries that came before this, I used to have all of them, but they were in a box with World of Smallville and World of Krypton, and I no longer have those, which means that only the Superman Burn one do I have. And I oh, that's the Man of Steel. I'm looking for the second series. So yeah, it looks like I am missing a few in here. So it looks like I'm missing number 8, and I'm missing number 16, 17, 18, and 19 to complete my series of John Byrne. I think John only did the first 2 years of Superman for. He also did like Action Comics, which I didn't collect religiously, but it's something like I think eventually I'll probably end up getting his Action Comic run as well because I really love his stuff from the early '80s or the late '80s. So yeah, so I think the last issue of is this one, which John Byrne, I guess. I guess from my understanding is he left abruptly, so they needed a fill-in writer and artist, and it looks like maybe Roger Stern and then Mike Mignola was. Mike, he doesn't really do mainstream comics anymore, but he's all about Hellboy these days. But yeah, he doesn't do mainstream comics anymore. And then it looks like Kerry Gamble took over the title with Roger Stern doing the writing with issue 24. So yeah, I think as a collector, I think if you're listening to this, you understand. If you buy comics and you collect comics, you know the necessity in order to complete your collection. There's something really nice about filling in number 1 through 24 of a run and then saying, just very nicely done. And just knowing that you completed that set. I don't know what it is. It's just, I think my sister who doesn't collect comics, she would never understand this. Or she doesn't collect anything, so she doesn't understand the need and or the drive to complete but yeah, so that's what I'm gonna probably end up doing. Even though I'm trying to not collect as much stuff, this is very hard. But yeah, so I mean, I'm not supposed to buy more stuff because obviously I lost more than 75% of my comic collection. So it should tell me that I need to tone down on buying more stuff. Because it could be a flood or it could be a fire that I could end up losing all this stuff. And but yeah, but as a collector, I think I just need to do it. And I think with the back issue for these, I don't think they're gonna end up costing me that much. I mean, these are like issue 14. Like who cares, right? So hopefully I don't have to pay too much for them, and I'll end up just completing the set, or maybe even I can just trade it with somebody, or maybe I can get it from a donation or some kind of. I really don't care about condition right now as far as the comic. And you're probably wondering why I have a gap in some of these issues. It's because in the late 80s, I started collecting comics in probably mid 80s, 1985. And then and I didn't always have the money because I was still a kid, and I had a $5 allowance, and that $5 had to stretch out for comics. And comics back then was only about 75%, 75 cents or 60 cents. And so I could get away with getting 2 comics a month. And then as I think with this, with the Superman stuff, I wasn't religiously collecting them. If I see it in a gas station, I'll pick it up, but sometimes you don't see them. Sometimes a gas station might only have 2 copies or 1 copy at the newsstand, and if somebody else bought it, you wouldn't get your hands on these. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Why I'm missing some of these, but you know, like I said, eventually I'll just track them down. I don't think they're that expensive to get, and it's a really great run. I love John Byrne. I think his art style is very simplified, and I think it depends on his inker too. So it looks like Carl Kelso. No, it looks like Beatty did these. Yeah, no, Carl Kelso. Okay, so it looks like he had a couple inkers. I know Carl Kelso. He's actually a pretty good inker. He inked George Perez's History of DC Universe. Yeah, so these are Carl Kelso. Yeah, so they make a great art team, and I've known, like I said, I think John Byrne simplified his style. But I think it's for the benefit of the inker too, because then the inker doesn't have to get too detailed as far as the background inking and stuff like that. I know a lot of people complain about John Byrne having no background, but he's such a good artist. I think it's hard to complain. No, Terry Austin. I think. So I wonder if Terry got too much work and kind of had to bail out. But yeah, it looks like Terry Austin did the first couple issues before he kind of quit. I think, like I said, it's a lot of work to make John Byrne looks good. But yeah, so yeah, I guess so. Let's talk about the app. So this is CLZ Comics. Now, when I first bought this app, I think I paid $20, and I think I was complaining how expensive that was because it was. I mean, for an app, like you have to understand, apps in the iOS store was probably like on average 99 cents. So to pay $20 was a lot to ask, but I paid it because I think it was a good app. So because I was using it all the time with adding stuff, and I think the demo that they had, you can only limit to adding like 10 comics before they ask you to pay. But I found out that the $20 is actually a really good deal because what ended up happening is CLZ switched to a subscription model, which I disagree with. I think that subscription model sucks. Nobody wants to pay monthly for an app, and I don't know how much it costs for CLZ, but it's not worth it. To me, it's not worth it. I just want to pay a flat fee and then get it over with. And so when I paid $20, I think that was such a good deal because I'm now grandfathered in. I don't have to pay them a subscription anymore. I can keep adding comics. I can. So speaking of which, though, since I've lost more than half of my collection, I don't know what I'm going to do with some of these because I don't think I have some of these issues anymore. So yeah, like Superman Lost Season, I don't know if I even kept that. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't want to redo my inventory of comics because it's a lot of work. But at the same time, I kind of like to have this as a reminder of stuff I used to have. So it's kind of, I don't know. I don't know what you think. Yeah, let me, I think Hellblazer. Yeah, I don't know if I kept all these, but let's see. yeah, so I have 176 Hellblazer comics. That's the John Constantine. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't know what I'm gonna do with all these comics that I used to have or no longer have or whatever. I don't want to remove it, but I also want to keep it just to remind myself. And then also maybe it's fun to like, oh, I used to have that or whatever. Yeah, so yeah, Amazing Heroes. I have more. I have more Amazing Heroes than this, so I don't know why it's only showing 3 issues. I know I have the George Paris stuff too, so I don't know why it's not in here. So maybe I'll add that to my collection. In fact, actually, can I do that right now? Yeah, so you can just browse by the cover, which is kind of nice. So I know I have the I know I have this. And there's some other Perez one. Yeah, I have. I don't know if I have this anymore, but I used to have that Wonder Woman one. So I'm a very particular. I used to have this. Let's see. So yeah, like I said, I was very particular in what I collected because I had all the Perez stuff. So I don't know why it was never added to my checklist, but I know I had these. Or, see, yeah, I have this. This is another cover with the blue background. So that's the. Is that earlier? Okay, it's not in here. I think it's called Best of. So yeah, once you check mark those, you can just add 6 to my collection. You can say how much you purchased it for originally, which I don't remember the price, what grade they were in, what date I purchased it, store. It's kind of nice. I don't really know a lot of stuff, and then it'll download the artwork and stuff and add it to my collection. Let's see, view my comics. So yeah, so now it looks good. Yeah, so let me add best of Amazing. Yeah, so I have this as well. So I'm gonna add that to my collection. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I wasn't very good at keeping track of what I own, but this is a good app just to like I said, I have a problem with buying duplicates, and I think this was really good to keep track of that. I have another one for DVDs and Blu-rays, but yeah, maybe I'll show you that next time. But the comic one is pretty good. Like I said, I paid $20 for it, but I think over time it's worth it. I think if you were to buy it now, I don't know if you have that option to pay that $20. I think you're forced into a subscription. So I don't recommend them. But if you were grandfathered in, good job.